When you build up a roster and you obviously do have a budget, a given budget, do have economics, is the expectations of your fans. Every fan of a team do have the hope and the kind of the idea that his team could do better. We at Schalke, we are in for the long run. We need to build up a sustainable business. We need to build up a healthy economic, like in League of Legends and Esports economic. And based on that, we did build up that team.
That was so much better than last time.
Yeah, it was?
It was at 9 a.m. and it was only like 4 hours.
Okay, yeah.
Last time was 6 a.m. and 6 hours. So,
so welcome to my life.
Yeah.
I would like to start today kind of an update about the situation, kind of economics. And what I really want to have today after this day is that we kind of align to some kind of strategy vision for 2020, however it will look like, and how much we have to sacrifice in some areas. But waiting at the moment for miracles doesn't make sense, and waiting for like the hope that there will be at some point 5 top players signing for a budget we can go for doesn't work. So we have to be creative. Null fear. We have to have null fear.
We knew pretty early on when we were going to rebuild the Schalke roster that it would once again need like a completely new group of players. The first things we initially tried to do is figure out our situation with mid lane. Abe was clearly to me a top half mid laner of the league in summer split. I think he played really well. Also, I think trying to have something that was already proven to succeed for us to be a top half team was important. So that's also why we looked at re-signing Odo. I think this was kind of the core.
I mean, this will be the hardest for sure. The other two we do have in mind, or we discussed at least. Dylan needs to give me more input of him. I think this might be our first choice if we go for young players. My vision, and I told Dylan, and I also told Claudio, and you also, is going now for, high risk, high reward. I want to have signed the 3, from our point of view, best talent. So we are done here, right? We agree if we can sign one of these, we should do so. If I can sign both, would you like that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Yeah, I can see that scenario. This guy is on small salary. They are going for salaries we can afford. That's for sure. I think it's already 8 weeks ago when we met last time, and since then it was a roller coaster. We had different ideas during that time. We had different thoughts, and actually the transfer market changed a lot in that time. It changed week by week actually. The last couple of years, when you went for regional talent, it was like also an economical decision to not start with a big budgets, with the big salaries. This year, this completely changed. This off-season was completely different. So we actually looked into a couple of these super hype AD rookies actually. At the end we needed to build up the roster and that needed to fit together, and picking up just one of them didn't seem for us too smart in the whole context of building up a team, synergy. So we ended up actually going for none of these talent.
Many teams had to either take a chance on these new rookies or sign proven ADCs that are good, but I don't feel would be great ever. And at some point, I think we just came to the idea of trying Forgiven.
I mean, I had an idea of what the roster would be like. Like I knew for a fact, like the 3 players, like let's say Abe, Odo. Then the other pieces came by like a bit later. So like I had an idea about who's gonna be the 3+2. Now that I came back like after 2.5 years or 3 years, like how people view it, it's obvious that I can't like rejoin directly like a top 3 team. I know that personally I have a proven history and a skill level that is also proven to this day, not only based on my history, but what about now, you know?
I think there are a lot of like supports in Europe we could have taken with Forgiven that are maybe more experienced playing in LEC or have had higher placings in their career, but they're not as strong mechanically as Dreams. And I value that really a lot when I want my bot lane to be like a pressure point.
It's kind of the first time for me to play with like actual have like good experience ADC. So I'm just kind of putting things on me, most likely to try to improve myself.
In the process of choosing our jungler, we did tryouts of a few different people. Reason we ended up with Gilius is he played the best. I think he outperformed the other junglers we were trying out and worked really well with our team. He was very good and aggressive on his champions, and I think helped a lot with planning in game, so that's why I'm in this spot. Working with this team so far, a lot of people coming in saying about how many strong personalities we have on the roster, how it's going to be like crazy to work with and everyone's going to tilt and go out of control. It's definitely been challenging. I won't lie and say that we have all easygoing people who are best friends and love working with each other in every single moment. But a lot of it is just people are very, very passionate about trying to improve, trying to win, trying to push each other.
We will see how it goes, but I know personally myself and I know how I am compared to other people.
I don't really necessarily think I have to prove anything to anyone but myself, you know. Like I will be happy with myself if I play good. Like I don't really care about the noises around me.
Our results so far, scrimming as a team, have been pretty hit and miss, I'd say. We have some really good days where we feel like we can be one of the good teams, top teams even. And then we have some days that honestly go pretty fucking bad. So it's really hard to say how our team is going to show up on stage. But the one thing that I did want to do of this roster, because I knew we had to take risks, right, is we do have a lot of talent on this team. We are not short on mechanical skill. We are not short on strong players. Although, of course, there's some challenging moments to be sure. I hope that as staff and as players, we can kind of channel that into something productive.